is the RSI intended for? I'll show you. Whoa! Perfect.
Okay, you guys, this is Young Investor here, back with you with another video. Before we start this video, let me go over the RSI definition with you guys. I'm gonna let you read it. Alright, basically, the RSI is overbought when it's at 70 and oversold when it's at 30. Remember that. Alright, so I started this video in the house, but I'm going to end it at work. Alright, so this is the RSI. Down here, this is the RSI down here. This is actually Apple. We're looking at Apple. This is the RSI down here, and this is the chart. This is the chart to show the the candlesticks and the price action. Okay, let's get into it. Down here on the RSI, you can see that we got numbers. 30 is for oversold, is undervalued, and 70 is for overbought, is overvalued as far as the stock price. All right, when we look at the chart, we can see that it shows us exactly when it's overbought and when it's oversold. I'm going to bring over this right here, and we're going to basically more so like circle it, put it in a rectangle when it's oversold and overbought. Just to show you an example as far as like what people look at when they look at the RSI and they look at the chart. So let's start over here. As we can see over here on the RSI, it is very overbought. And if we bring it over here on the chart, up here on the chart, it show you up here, it's very overbought. That means Apple was overpriced. Basically in the stock market, it was overvalued. Which means anytime it's overbought, the market will push it back down and the stock will sell off. So Apple started to sell off. All right, it became oversold. As you look down here, it became oversold. So let's put it on the RSI. It became very oversold. Okay, so it became oversold, start consolidating basically, and it started pushing back up. Anytime it's oversold, people like to dump money in things that's oversold because they think it's undervalued and they think it will go up in the long term or more so, the short term. And as you can see, that's exactly what it did. Apple went right back up, not over a course of hours, months. Every candle is a day, so this is about a 2-month period. This is about a 2-month period. Apple went right back up, becoming overbought. As you can see on the RSI, it became right overbought again, and people sold it again because it was overvalued. Anytime something is overvalued, people would like to sell it because they think it's gonna go down any day now because it's overvalued as far as the market share price. And as you can see, Apple was now and again oversold. So what do you think is going to happen next? Let me let you have, as we in the current present, Apple is currently oversold. What do you think is going to happen next? On the RSI is at 30, it's even below, more so at 29. What you think is going to happen next? I think it's going to actually end up going back up, if you ask me, going back up and probably making higher highs once we get past the tier bullshit. Excuse my language. Once we get past this tier stuff, it's definitely probably going to make higher highs. So I'm going to invest in Apple. A lot of people will invest in Apple due to the fact that they see that it's oversold. It's very oversold. On the RSI, it's like basically like 29-ish, almost 29. And the price of Apple is around, I could say 173-ish. Not too bad, not too bad. So more so, it will probably come back up after tariffs go away and, make higher highs again. But I only think, you can look at different time frames. Different time frames will tell you different things, but on the daily chart it's very accurate. Different time frames. So if I were to change the time frame on the weekly chart, they would definitely show me that Apple was currently overvalued as well. If you look, Apple was right here when it started to come down, and on the RSI, it's definitely overbought on the RSI when it started to come down. Especially, it was the same thing on the daily chart, but it's not too oversold yet on the weekly chart. If you look at the weekly chart, but on the daily chart, if we look at the daily chart, they're letting us know that Apple is definitely overbought. Sorry about that. Oversold. That Apple is definitely, they're letting us know that Apple is definitely oversold as far as like the short term. But on the weekly chart, they let us know it's possible that it could come down more. So you have to be careful with it. So if you look at the daily chart, you can definitely start adding positions and take positions as far as like the daily chart, because the daily chart is very accurate. So that's basically what the RSI is. The RSI basically just to let you know if it's overbought, basically overvalued or oversold.